Everyone, today we will do chapter second, The Thief's Story. This is written by Ruskin Bone, one of his famous stories. It's about a young boy who befriends with Anil. Anil is the main character of the chapter. He trusts him completely and employs him, and then this boy tries to betray him. But how did his heart change later on? The story is about that. A number of movies are having shows the same theme. You may see that the thieves are not made by choice. They become the thieves because of maybe a number of circumstances, the situations which are there. So that become responsible for any person who turns to be a thief. But this story here, though, there is conversion of a thief into a man who is totally changed, heart changed. He left the thefts. Something happened in his life. So this story deals about that. Let's see what Ruskin Bone has written about him. He's a writer, an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Missouri, India. The Indian Council for Child Education had recognized his role in growth of children's literature in India. So he was awarded Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dera. His novel in English, he was awarded the Padma Shri also in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. So let's see one of this famous story written by Ruskin Bone. We come to the first paragraph of the textbook. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. So the thief is telling his story on his own, and he is telling that what happened in his life when he was 15 years old, and he was a thief when he met the man Anil. His name was Anil. So though he is saying I was only 15 years old, but I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. So he could successful hand because he could cheat anyone, he could do anyone, he could do cheatings with the people, he can defraud with the people. He could only at the age of 15 he had become very experienced. He can steal the things from the people's hands or from their purses or whatever way he was doing. So Anil was watching a wrestling match. When I approached him, he was about 25, a tall, he was 25 years old, tall, lean fellow, thin fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, simple enough for my purpose. So what did first, naturally the thieves, what they observe? They observe the physical appearance of any person's first. So what he observed, this thief, that this man, he was 25 years old, simple looking man, very easy, simple looking man, and can be befooled by him. So he was simple enough for my purpose, that for my purpose I can make him fool and I can steal the things, whatever valuable things, the money he may be having. So he made a plan there only after seeing Anil, and then he carried over. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into young men's confidence. So then he thought that I will try and it will be easy for me. I will take in his confidence, and then I will start making him fool. And maybe he was planning something, that how he will be doing a theft in his house. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. So he started talking. He started with talking with Anil, and he said that you look like a wrestler. Although he was not a wrestler, it is told that he was a tall, lean fellow. So, but he tries. He's saying you look like a wrestler. So he thought that this sort of flattery, maybe he will become his after the flattery, he will become his friend. So he was having this in his mind. So, do you, he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. So maybe it was a fun from Anil's side also. He said, if I look like a wrestler, you also look like the wrestler, because they were having the same physique. He was thin and like Anil. So this was all the first talk of these two persons, and then after talking, then the next what happened, Well, their conversation started from there. Well, I said modestly, very politely, started talking with him. I do wrestle a bit, just because he wanted to flatter him. He wanted to attract him with his talks. So what he said, okay, I do the wrestling, although he didn't do any type of wrestling, but he spoke a lie. What is your name? Hari Singh. I lied. I took a new name every month. So because he was a thief, and thieves, what is their job? They befool the people. So how he started making befooling him? He lied. He said, my name is Hari Singh, and he himself is accepting this, that because I was a thief and he can't have the same name, so I took a new name every month. He changed name every month, so that no one can identify, police cannot take hold over him. So he keep on telling wrong names everywhere. He changed the names. That kept me ahead of police and my former employers. The reason was so that police is not able to catch him, or his former employers, wherever he went for stealing. So his employers who employed him, so that they may not come to know that he is the same person who is working now there. And for this purpose, he changed his name. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. So here maybe they were the friends, or maybe in the way he got some wrestlers, and because they may be friend, or they may be just any people who he was passing about. He talked, maybe they were the known people. So he talked with these wrestlers, and then he passed on. And this boy who was a thief, his purpose was to make a theft, and so he was following him without doing anything, just following him, so that this he can go maybe into the house of Anil. Hello again, he said. I gave him most appealing smile. So I want to work for you, I said, but I can't pay you. This is Anil said. So what he said, he started talking with him. He said, just to attract him, my appealing smile. He smiled towards him, so that with the smile, the man maybe melt with that smile and give him a job in his house. So he said, I want to work for you. Can you give me a job? So he said, but I can't pay you. Maybe the man was not not having that much money that he can pay a person for him, for working for him. So now I thought that over a minute, when he said, Anil said that I don't have money to give you a pay. So what he thought for a moment, maybe what he may be thinking, that money he is not having for paying to the servant. So perhaps I had misjudged. Now perhaps now he thought started thinking that maybe by mistake this person, what he is thinking is that misjudging the man, that he thought that this man may be his next prey, and he may be stealing money from him. But here he may be wrong, he may be thinking wrong, because this person said, I don't have much money, so I can't pay you. So then again he thought something. I asked, can you feed me? Then again he asked him, okay, can you feed me? Feed me, if not money, so can you give me some only food and shelter? Can you cook? I can cook. I lied again. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. He took me to his room over Jamuna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible, very horrible, because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be put off. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he could not help laughing. And see now what happened. He said, if you can cook for me, then okay, you can stay at my home. So he gave him a shelter, and he said, okay, I will be cooking. Although he didn't know how to make food, but still he said, okay, I will be doing it. And when he went to his room, was not maybe enough space was not there in the home, so he was given a space in the balcony to sleep. Balcony here, this was his shelter he was given in his home, and so he slept there. And he made a meal. When he made meal for him, it was not good. So Anil didn't saw it, because he was a nice man. So what he simply did it, he gave it to the dog, and he wanted this man now maybe to go from there. And but still he, because his job was to he didn't have any home, so no shelter was there. He was a thief, he was staying in his home, so shelter already he was getting. Then he thought something again in the mind, and he started smiling towards him, like as if nothing has happened, and as if this smile was the most innocent smile one. Just this way he started looking towards his face, and when he was looking towards him, Anil started laughing. The way he was looking at him, he felt maybe foolish on his innocence, or maybe because the face he was making in front of him, he started laughing over. So he did not say him to go away from there. Then he continued there. This man continued doing the job there and doing the works for him. Now see how did the what happened then later on. Later he patted me on the head and said, never mind, he would teach him me to cook. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful, thankful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, and there would be no limit to what I could achieve. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. And I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, usually making a profit about a rupee or a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Now see what happened. This man, he was working for him, and he nothing, no money was paid to him. He did not know how to cook, so Anil taught him. He taught him that how he can make good food, and even not he taught him to cooking also, but he taught him to write his name. This was again, he was uh, teaching him how to write his name. Writing, maybe he was illiterate person, that he was illiterate, he didn't know how to write and how to pronounce maybe those written words. So what this man, this Anil, he was a generous man, a kind hearted man. He started teaching him how to write, and this thief, he knew the value of writing. Not only that value of writing, that he will be able to become a literate man. No, the purpose was something else. What was the purpose? He would soon teach me to write whole sentences, to add number. I was grateful. Why grateful? Because if once he is an educated man, so what will happen? There will be no limit to what I could achieve. So he thought that to achieve is not the success or something he wanted to do any other job, but to maybe he knew it very well that after becoming an educated man, so what will be easy for him to how to cheat the people. An educated man can talk perfectly with other people, so this will solve his purpose, and maybe after becoming an educated person, he will be able to cheat people, to steal from the houses of the people by becoming an educated one. So the purpose will be solved for him, that because that tax in his talk will come after becoming educated man. So this he was thinking about. And now Anil, because he made a tea in the morning for him, and then sorry then then what happened after this? This all was happening. So his work he was doing, he was learning reading, writing, and cooking already he has learned. And then after cooking, after doing his work, what was the behavior of Anil? He was very kind to him. Then later he patted me on the head, said never mind, he would teach him to cook. This we have done. Okay, this we have done. Okay, now we come to the next page. So this way he is doing his job. Now Anil, he observed the daily schedule of Anil, and when he observed the daily schedule, what did he observe? That Anil made money by fits and starts. He didn't have a regular income. Actually, Anil, he didn't have a regular income, and money he was making, it was sometimes he got it, sometimes he did not. He would borrow one week, lend the next. So this was his schedule. The way he was behaving, it was strange for this man, for this he kept worrying about his next check, but soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a queer way to make a living. So this is what a queer way. Now this man who saw him, that how he earn money. So how he earned, it was not a regular income. So what he did, he would borrow 1 week maybe he got the money after writing. So he was a he seems to write for magazines. So this he has thought that this man, he is a writer and he wrote for magazines, and 1 week his work was published. That week he got the money, and later on the next week he was without any money. So this was his queer way of making living. And 1 week when he got that money, he kept on he used that money in the same week, and next week he borrowed from other people. So the thief felt that this was very strange on his part, how he was spending the money in 1 week, and the next week he was spending like that. So one evening he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to the publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on shopping, hadn't done anything in my line of work. In my line of work, what was his line of work? That he could he had to cheat the people. So this was he's saying that for a month I was working for a month, and but he could not, he was not able to cheat anything from, because there in nothing was in there in the home, and no cash was there. So this was the first time he saw any publisher has given him a bundle of notes, and he kept it under the mattress. This he was observing, and now he's saying that apart from cheating on the shopping, this another work he was doing was shopping. Anil used to send him for shopping also, for purchasing the vegetables and other household things. So now he was maybe some, if some money was spent, some he had saved in his own pocket. So this way he was saving money there also, this thief. So but Anil knew it, but he didn't say anything. So nothing else, no big theft was made till now in my line of work. So what was his actual work? To steal. Till now he could not do. Now he thought that I had every opportunity of doing. Now he is having money, a bundle of notes was there, and he knew that it was kept in under his pillow in another mattress, so he can easily take that bundle from there. So now he made a plan how the stealing will be done, how he will do it. So he made whole plan, every plan was ready in his mind. Now see the last line, he was the most trusting person I had ever met. And saying, because stealing in the person of this man who had a trust on him, blind trust in him, he kept the money simply just knowing that the man may be observing, but he didn't care because he trusted the thief. He didn't know that he will be stealing, but he kept it, and he was not worrying about of stealing by someone. So now then what happened, and that is why it was so difficult to rob him. See the line, because he was a thief, and thief's job is to rob the people. But he's saying that was it was difficult to rob him. He said he was a simple man, and a simple man, he could he believed him too much, or he had a trust on him, so he could easily rob him. But still it was difficult to rob him, and this was coming in, maybe his heart was pricking him, his conscience was talking with him, that it's very easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed. But it's difficult to rob a careless man sometimes. He does not even notice he has been robbed and takes all the pleasures out of the work. Well, it's time I did some real work. I told myself I'm out of practice, and if I don't take the money, he will waste it on his friends. And after all, he doesn't even pay me. So see how he made up his mind. His conscience was saying, no, you can't rob this man, a simple-hearted man who has given him shelter, who has trusted him so much. Still he was finding difficult. He can't rob this man. But now he's saying he's a careless man. So how he make up his mind? How he made the mind to cheat him? He said, because he was a careless man, and he doesn't notice he has been robbed, take pleasure of the work. Well, this is time. Then he made that, because a careless man, He thought Anil is a careless man, and if I do not take his money, I do not steal his money, what will be the result? He will spend this money on some other purpose. He will waste the money on his friends or other ways. So he doesn't know the value of money. So, and moreover, he doesn't pay him, he doesn't give him salary also. So he has every right to steal this man. So he made his mind like that. So when all the planning was done, then what happened? Anil was sleeping at the night. So when he was sleeping, a beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony, fell on the bed. I sat on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was grabbed it. Stealthily he went. Without a noise, he went to the bed. So now what happened? He made a plan. When Anil was sleeping, he said that night he went to his bed, and then he took out the money from under his mattress, and he thought that the 10:30 express train, 10:30, maybe he knew the time of the train, to Lucknow train he will be taking, and then he took out the money from there. And then Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was very clear, unlined, no worried lines were there, and even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. See, he's saying when he observed the Anil's face, what he observed, that the man was sleeping peacefully. He doesn't care about that anyone is stealing the money, because he was a attention he was not a man who worried over money, who worried over the materialistic things or all that. Whatever came in his life, he enjoyed with all those things. So he was just a man. So face was very clear, without any sort of worried lines over the face. And this thief is saying, but how he's comparing himself with him, that my face was mostly scars were there. Those scars, he's saying, maybe his conscious again is pricking his mind. Maybe what was that he's having the scars, he's having the wrinkles on the face, and these wrinkles, scars were all the maybe the because of stealing the people, or maybe because of worriedness of getting the money, more and more money, befooling the people, maybe because of that. So he's comparing himself, that how a simple hearted man was looking and how he himself was looking upon. Now when all was done, he kept out the money from there. He took the money. My hand slid under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled. Startled is surprised. So he was startled, he was surprised, because a sigh, because maybe the breathing, when he felt his breathing, so something he was feeling as if Anil, when he took out the money and Anil sighed, maybe that sigh was a sigh that someone has broken his trust. So that he felt like that. So thief was startled, he was puzzled at that sigh of him, and that maybe his conscience again was saying him, no, don't do that, but still he was doing. So after feeling like that, he again, what he did, even though conscience was saying him not to do, he did not want to do anything wrong with him, but still he went from there. So when I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist and held there by the string of my pajamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes, 600 rupees in 50s. So this much amount he was having. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. So this was all. Although his conscience was pricking him that don't steal a man who trusted him honestly, who gave him shelter. And still he started running on the road. He said, no, I can't stop here, because this much money he counted, this is 600 rupees in my pocket. I can be living for a week, or maybe for more weeks I will be living like a rich man who is having a lot of money. So I will be living like that. So he said, no, I will be going. Doesn't listen to his conscience. Now here I will emphasize upon, children, this is because this happens in reality also. When we are doing any wrong thing, so first thing, our mind, our conscious, our heart always make us aware of that, but we do not listen to that awareness, that warning which our heart or conscious is giving. So here same was happening. His heart was saying him, don't do that, it's wrong, and but he did it. So this is in most of the cases happens, then when we don't listen to our conscience, we do the wrong task, and here the wrong task was done. So now what happened when I reached, next what happened when I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. A train had still to pick up speed. I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated for some reasons I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. Then alone on the deserted platform he found himself, and I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. I didn't want to make anyone curious by staying at one small hotel near the station. Now see what was happening. He got the train, he went to the ticket office, and he purchased the ticket, but because he had stolen, and a thief do not believe on others when actually they are doing this. So this was happening, that if he stayed there near the ticket office, someone may be identifying him, may will get that fear of becoming maybe someone by the of the police or the society. Because of that he could not stay there. So when the Lucknow Express, the train started moving, okay, but he did not go. I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated. He hesitated, he could not step in the train, and then he could not go away from there. He left the train, and train had gone, and he was standing alone on the deserted platform. This alone, all the passengers have gone in the train. Now he was left alone, and he could not go, because the reason was his heart was still pricking his heart, his conscience was pricking him. The conscience was trying to say something, no, it's wrong, don't do. And when train had gone, I had no friends. He's saying no friend was there. I could not go anywhere, and if in hotel he go at this night having a lot of money with him, maybe the hotel people will be suspicious, and they will call the police that this man is a thief. So this thief was having all the fears in the mind. So now what happened then? This all was happening with him while he was standing on the railway station. He's on the railway station, train is gone, and now he's left there. Now again he is thinking, recalling his time spent with Anil. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed, leaving the station. Now see how the conscience is teaching him, pricking him, teaching him. He's saying the only person I trusted, it was the man whom I robbed. It was Anil. He believed on him. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. In short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's face when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear. This is what he is thinking. He's saying a number of people I have stolen, and he's saying I could now identify the faces of the people, that how they feel after being stolen. So he's saying men's faces. Now greedy man, what is a greedy man's fear? They show fear. And rich man, how did they behave? They show anger. The poor man, he's saying, but they show acceptance. They accept it, that it happened, okay, it's happened. Rich are here, they see the greedy and rich, they are becoming angry, they are fearful that what happened, someone has stolen. But this poor, the poor people, when they are stolen, nothing happens. They accept it, that okay, thing is gone, it's okay, let it go. Okay, so this is he's saying that how he observed the behavior of the people. But I knew that Anil's face when he discovered the theft would show him only a touch of sadness. He's saying and what will be Anil's reaction? Only a touch of sadness, because he believed the person who was living in his home. Okay, so now not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. That man may be hard, may be feeling heartened, because he had been stolen by a man who trusted him, and naturally a breakage of the trust by someone whom you are believing, it spoils, even it make us feel sad. So same sadness will come on Anil's face also. He may be feeling sad over there. Not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. I found myself in the maiden Medan, and then sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It was early November, and a little drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My spirit and pajamas stuck into my skin, and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. Now this man is standing alone there. He is remembering, he is recalling Anil's face. He is trying to feel that how Anil will be feeling. Because his heart is saying him that it's wrong. So same he is thinking that Anil, when he will come to know about this theft, I have stolen his money, his heart would be broken. So this is all was coming. Now it was drizzling, it was raining at that night, and because he was a lone man, no shelter, no home, nothing. So he was drenched in the rain. And now what happened then? I went to the bazaar, sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes, they were damp. Wet. Damp is wet from the rain. Rain. Anil's money in the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to cinema. But now I had it all. I could not cook his meals, run to the bazaar, learn to write whole sentences anymore. I had forgotten about them in excitement of the theft. Whole sentences I knew one could one day bring me more than a few hundred rupees. It was simple matter to steal, but sometimes just as simple to be caught. But to be a really big man, a clever and respected man was Anil, and told myself if only learn to read and write. Now see how he is feeling now. He's feeling bad that he has done wrong with Anil. Now when he was standing in the without any shelter in the rain, he's standing, he don't have anywhere to go, no person is there who know him in the city. It was only Anil who was, not only he has given him shelter, but he has trusted him. Was teaching him and learning. He was teaching. Maybe he's now he is thinking that how important for him to become a respectful man in the society he will become because of that reading and writing he was teaching him. So he has lost this chance. He is feeling bad for that the only person who wanted his welfare, who wanted him to live like a respectful man, he has cheated that man. He was feeling bad for this man. Now, I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return it undetected. I opened the door quietly and stood in the doorway in clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. I crept. He's going back. Okay, where he is going back? To the house of Anil. And when he went there, door, because he may not have bolted the door, so Anil was asleep. He was sleeping. He went to the crept to the head of the bed. He went there, and my head came up with notes. My hand came up with notes. I felt his on my hand. Now, when what he thought that he will be now keeping back the money. This is now he's making his mind. So when he was sleeping, what he did, he take out the money and he kept back there only. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress, slipped under it. The notes I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already had made the tea. So now, after keeping the money, what has happened? When in the morning he woke up, he after keeping money, maybe he slept. That thief slept, and Anil in the morning when he woke up, he saw Anil had made tea for him, and then this tea he had given to the thief also. There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. See, okay. So now what happened? Something happened with Anil also in the same night. He is having a 50 rupees. Till now this man did not give him money, and now when the thief was sleeping, he woke up, he saw that not only he made tea for him, but 50 rupees also he was having in the hand for any purpose. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. So he thought money he is having in the hand, so maybe he has got to know about his stealing, that he was trying to steal his money. So he was badly shaken, and he was afraid now this man will come to know. He will hand over him to police, and he will make him to go out of his home. This was all he was feeling. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now this man Anil started talking with him. Now you will be paid regularly. My spirit rose, but when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from night's rain. Today we will start writing sentences, he said. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. I smiled at Anil in most appealing way, and smile came by itself without any effort. Now see what has happened. He's saying Anil, the Anil, even behavior of Anil changed for him at that during that night only. So what happened? Thief could not understand what so happened. So Anil said him that I have earned some money yesterday, and this some money he is saying that I'm giving you for spending, and he's saying nothing else. He said today we are starting with writing new sentences, and we will start learning again how to write. So now I smiled at Anil most appealing way, and smile came by itself without effort. So now he was feeling maybe feeling good that Anil was not able to come to know about the theft, because he was saying him, this is money I earned yesterday, and I'm giving you for you can spend this 50 rupees, and now we are starting to study. So he was happy that Anil was not able to know about this theft. So but here rain come to the again, see, I took a note. I saw still it was wet from the net. If you can see this line, check this line. I saw it was still wet from night's rain. Okay, if the note was wet, was not Anil, it was not possible for Anil to detect his theft, because he may have come to know that someone have taken the money, and in the rain someone had gone and maybe came back. That's why maybe the money was wet. So he may knew it, but he did not say anything. He forgave me. He forgave him for that thing maybe, and he understood his necessity. What unnecessity he understood of the thief was that he needed money, and because he was not paying him regular amount for doing the work, so now he has made his mind that he will be paying him. His necessity should be fulfilled. He will be teaching him also, and side by side he will be giving that much amount that he can fulfill his daily needs. So this he did all, and now he smiled in most appealing way, that same smile he was having on the face, because Anil has maybe forgiven him, and he was the same man for him. And this thief, maybe now he was a changed man. His heart was changed. Now he's no more a thief left. Maybe now he will be a changed man. His changed man in his life. So this is the what happened with him, and how this thief was converted. Maybe later on that will be he will be a respectful man in the society. Okay, I hope you have understood the chapter well.